So can I ask, what do you hope to get from this event today?
I want people to be aware that within Scotland that there are people who are struggling and who are in poverty, who aren't necessarily unemployed, living on benefits or living in social housing.
And do you think that's a big issue that people are not aware of, that a lot of people are living in poverty are actually working?
I think it's a much bigger hidden, if you like a bit like an iceberg. There's a lot more people there than people are probably aware of, but because they're not necessarily claiming a benefit and they're not so visible, that they're being hidden, and I think that's going to get worse over the next 5 or 10 years, and that's something that could come back and hit us a wee bit further down the line.
Because their issues and concerns aren't getting picked up on, because the emphasis from the media seems to be, all we're hearing about is hard-working people and people aren't working, as if there's a clear divide, yet well, from what you're saying, even people are hard-working, to use their expression, are still living in poverty as well.
I think there is that. There's this big thing that somebody who's on benefits entitled to X, Y and Z, that the person who's working isn't entitled to any of these benefits, and people forget the extra add-ons that can cost money that they're maybe not even being taken for granted, that people aren't thinking about.
And what do you think needs to change, especially regarding people are in work in poverty? What would make the biggest change to their lives, do you think?
I think the biggest problem a lot of people have is there can be a lot of occasions where two people were working in a household and now there's only one person working, and they're forgetting the impact that suddenly having the complete loss of, if you like, one income has. But because of it, the people who are working pretty hard, like a bit like a duck. The legs are going under the water but nobody sees anything on the top, and we've got to look after those people, because at some point if their legs stop paddling, they're going to go down and they're going to drown.
Do you think this is quite a divisive terms that we're using, hard-working people, to make that?
I think the fact that we say hard-working people, there's not very many lazy working people.
Who quantify this?
Who quantify.
Especially when it's coming from politicians.
Especially, I mean, they also assume that everybody who's going to be a hard-working person is working very long hours and minimum wage with not much experience. They haven't got the qualifications. Let's get them educated. That will suddenly put them up the ladder. And I think the reality is far from it. There's an awful lot of people sitting out there who are very well qualified but can't get up the ladder, and they're getting missed out on.
So there's a lot more underlying issues rather than just these headline issues that we keep hearing about in the media.
We keep hearing the headlines, but nobody's missing everything else that's going on underneath.
And that's what's really driving this problem, this issue.
Yeah.
Thank you.